No one saw them coming, not at first. It began as a shadow over the sky. People in different countries looked up and saw stars disappearing. At first they thought it was a solar eclipse, but the moon wasn't in the right place, and someone noticed the stars were vanishing one by one, and 10 at a time, then hundreds within minutes. Telescopes on Earth captured something that froze the blood of every leader, scientist, and soldier. Thousands of ships, huge, black, silent, all heading toward Earth. The aliens didn't send a message. They didn't ask for surrender. They didn't warn humanity. They simply came with 9,900 warships, each one big enough to crush a city. Panic spread across the planet. Sirens screamed in every capital. Satellites fell. Communications broke. The world's most powerful armies readied their defenses, but deep inside, every general knew the truth. Didn't stand a chance. Not against this. The invaders were not just here to conquer. They came to erase, in a hidden command. Center under Washington, D.C., General Amina Clark stared at the black dots moving on the hologram. Her hands were shaking. She had fought in 5 wars. She had survived 2 global crises. But this was different. These ships, ... double quotes, she whispered. They're not just metal. Her assistant looked confused. Alive? Amina pointed to the readings. They don't use fuel. They absorb energy. Our weapons won't hurt them. Our nukes won't scare them. We're outmatched. Around the world, one by one, defense systems were activated. Lasers in orbit fired. Space drones attacked. Earth's hidden weapons kept for a day like this were finally used. Nothing worked. The alien ships moved like shadows. Fast, silent, and deadly. They didn't shoot first. They just kept coming. Closer and closer. Then the first blast hit. A red beam shot from the largest alien ship. It went through a space station like it was paper. There was no explosion, just silence and then nothing. The crew didn't even have time to scream. Earth's governments began to fall silent. Some tried to surrender, some tried to hide. Nothing could stop what was coming. And then, somewhere far from all the chaos, deep under the Arctic ice, something woke up. A machine, cold and silent for 20 years, blinked to life. Its core glowed red. Its systems checked themselves. A voice mechanical, but strangely human spoke. Protocol Fury. Status. Activated. In a long-forgotten base called Vault Zero, red lights filled the dark hallways. Dust fell from the ceiling. Doors unlocked. Walls moved. 17 pods opened. Inside each pod, a human woke up. Men and women with sharp eyes and strong minds. Their bodies shook slightly, not from fear, but from deep sleep. They looked at each other, and without speaking, they understood. War had finally come. One of them, a woman with short black hair and a scar over her left eye, stood first. Her name was Kara Vale. Once, she had been the best pilot in the world. Then she disappeared because of Project Fury. Kara looked at the giant screen as the system showed the alien ships entering Earth's orbit. Her voice was calm. So, they actually did it. They came. Another pilot, Jox, laughed softly. Took them long enough, Kara turned to him. We trained for this. We died for this. You ready to finish it? Jox cracked his neck. Born ready.
One by one, the 17 pilots
stepped into their gear. Not army suits, not space suits. Something older, something different. Designed in secret labs, these suits connected directly to the nervous system. They were built for speed, pain, and survival. But most of all, they were built for war. No human was ever supposed to fight. In the middle of the hangar stood 17 warcraft. Small, black, and shaped like blades. They looked like they couldn't stand against even one alien ship. But these weren't ordinary ships. They were Fury-class fighters, each one powered by a living AI, banned by every government on Earth, each one capable of doing what missiles and drones could never do. Think like a human, kill like a machine. As the pilots entered their ships, the system spoke again. Launch in 60 seconds. Kara closed her eyes. Her heart was beating fast now. not from fear, from purpose. The whole world was watching the sky turn black. But no one knew about the 17 shadows rising from the ice, as the ground shook and the launch doors opened to the sky. Kara spoke into the radio. "This is Kara Vale, Fury Unit 01, to whoever's listening out there. And we're not going to beg. We're not going to run. We're going to make them regret coming here." Above, the black sky waited, and the war finally began. They had been erased from history years ago. The world believed Project Fury had failed. News reports called it too dangerous, too inhuman. The government shut it down. The pilots were said to be dead lost in an explosion during a test mission. But none of it was true. They were hidden, locked away deep under the Arctic, frozen in time, waiting for one day, a day like this, as the day Earth would face the end. Now the 17 forgotten pilots were awake. The ice above them cracked as their ships rose from underground. One by one, black Fury-class fighters shot into the sky, fast as lightning, quiet as shadows. No one on Earth saw them leave. Not yet. Kara Vale sat inside her fighter, her hands resting lightly on the controls. The cockpit was dark, silent, and cold. Then a soft voice spoke in her head. Not from a radio, but from the AI inside her ship. "Good morning, Kara. It's time." Kara smiled. "Hello, Reaper. Still alive?" "Always." "I've been waiting." Each pilot had a personal connection to their ship's AI. The machines weren't just tools. They were partners, friends, weapons, and minds combined. In the old days, people feared these machines. They said they were too powerful, too emotional, too human. That's why the program was shut down. But in war, fear becomes a weapon too. Now, the 17 were back-end. Their bond with the AI made them faster, smarter, and deadlier than any pilot. On Earth, Jax flew next to Kara. His ship Wraith shimmered black and red. His AI joked in his ear. "Miss me?" Jax grinned. "Like a hole in my head." Another voice joined the channel. It was Maya, the youngest pilot. "Can we focus?" "There are 9,900 enemy ships out there, remember?" "Correction," Jock said. "There are 9,900 targets." The 17 fighters sped through the upper atmosphere, heading toward the dark clouds of alien ships above Earth. From orbit, the aliens finally noticed something small rising from the planet. They laughed. Tiny ships from a dying world, but they didn't know what these ships were, didn't know who flew them. And they had never seen humans fight like this. In the command room of the alien flagship, a tall creature with blue skin and golden armor frowned. His name was Admiral Threx, commander of the 9,900 ship fleet. He had destroyed 10 planets before. He had never failed. "Why are those small ships not turning back?" Threx asked. "They are not broadcasting surrender signals," a lower officer replied. "They single quotes silent." Threx's eyes narrowed. "Then destroy them." He didn't even stand up, simply gave the command, expecting a quick end. But that didn't happen. The first wave of alien fighters flew down to intercept the 17 human warcraft. Hundreds of enemy drones swarmed forward like insects, and then everything went wrong for them. Kara's fighter vanished from radar, then reappeared behind the enemy ships. She fired once, and 3 enemy ships exploded. No missile trails, no warning, just speed and death. Maya flipped her ship upside down and dove through a spinning line of drones, firing shots with perfect accuracy. More enemies fell. Jox laughed. As he weaved between blasts, dancing through space like fire in a storm, his ship cut through enemy metal like a knife through paper. Inside each Fury-class fighter, the AI and human worked as one. The ships didn't move like machines. They moved like thoughts, fast, unpredictable, deadly, in less than 3 minutes. Over 50 alien ships were gone. On Earth, people were still hiding, still watching the sky. They saw the giant alien ships in orbit, but now some of those ships were burning. A few people pointed upward. Child whispered, "What's that?" Hope was beginning to wake. Back in orbit, Admiral Threx stood from his seat now. His face had changed. No more calm, no more amusement. "These are not normal humans," he growled. A scientist beside him studied the screen. "Their ship's impossible. Design, tech, we've never seen. They react faster than thought." Threx's voice turned cold. "Then we crush them. All ships engage." In the middle of it all, Kara kept flying, her eyes focused, her heart calmed. She knew they couldn't win a war alone, but they weren't trying to win everything. They were trying to change the rules. She whispered into her mic. "Fury units split into 4 teams. Draw them out, hit and vanish. Make them fear the dark." And so, the 17 pilots disappeared into the blackness of space, hitting hard, fading fast, moving like ghosts. They were forgotten once, but now the whole galaxy would remember them. The blackness of space had never seen war like this. The alien fleet stretched across the orbit of Earth like a dark sea. Rows and rows of heavy destroyers, sharp-edged cruisers, and drone carriers moved slowly but with power. To them, Earth was already finished. You just had to clean up the mess. But now, 17 human warcraft were moving through their lines like ghosts. Caravel's ship, Reaper, was silent in the shadows of a massive alien cruiser. Her breathing was calm. Her hands were still. The AI in her ship whispered, "Target locked. 10 seconds to strike." Above her, 4 alien fighters flew in formation, scanning the area. They didn't see her. They couldn't. Fury-class ships were built with special tech-bending radar, blocking heat signatures, and hiding like shadows in the dark. Kara didn't need orders. She just thought the command and her ship responded. A thin pulse of energy shot upward. It didn't make a sound, but in less than a second, all 4 alien fighters exploded into pieces. The shockwave rippled across the nearby ships. Alarms went off. Hundreds of alien eyes turned toward the direction of the blast. But Kara was already gone. Elsewhere, Jox flew straight into the center of an enemy drone swarm. There were over 500 drones around him, moving like a living wall. Bad idea. His AI, Wraith, warned. Jack smiled. That's what makes it fun. He fired a shockwave pulse. It didn't destroy the drones, but it confused them. For 4 seconds, they spun wildly, blind and broken. That's all Jox needed. He sliced through them with twin rail cannons, flying upside down, his ship rolling like a flame in a storm. Enemy drones crashed into each other, some fired by mistake, and hit their own ships. In those few moments, Jox took down 120 drones, and he was just warming up. Not far away, Maya flew low across the hull of a capital ship. Her ship, Shadowbird, was silent, flat, and smooth. She flew so close, the alien sensors didn't register her. Then she dropped a single bomb. It wasn't big, didn't explode right away. It slipped into the ship's heat vents and settled inside. 3 seconds. Later, the alien cruiser split in half from the alien command ship. Admiral Threx watched it all in disbelief. 17 ships, he growled. 17, his officers. We're in chaos. They don't follow formation. They don't respond to weapons. They disappear and strike again from nowhere. They fight like animals, another hissed, but smarter. Threx's hands clenched into fists. This is not war. This is madness. He turned to his communications team. Find out where they came from, who trained them, what they are. Back on Earth, people were finally getting news. Old satellite channels came alive again, showing flashes of battle in space. Amateur radios picked up strange voices, code names like Fury 1, Ghostblade, Blackfire. A message from the UN military broadcasted globally. Unknown human ships are engaging the alien fleet. Do not panic. There is still hope. For the first time in days, the world stopped crying. They started watching in space. Kara and her team kept moving. The 17 pilots never stayed still. They hit, vanished, reappeared, and hit again. They used the enemy's size against them. Giant cruisers became walls that blocked line of sight. Drone swarms became smoke screens. Wreckage from destroyed ships was turned into hiding spots. This was not normal battle. This was human madness turned into strategy. This was fury, warfare. But even with their skills, it wasn't easy. Pilot Leon was flying near the edge of the alien formation when two heavy cannons locked onto him. His AI screamed a warning, but it was too late. A blue beam shot through his left engine. His ship spun, burning, falling. No, Kara shouted into the comms. Leon's voice came through, weak but calm. It's okay. I see a reactor core. Going in hot. Aimed his dying ship at the heart of a dreadnought. His last words, tell Earth, we're not done. Then silence. The dreadnought exploded in a wave of light. 3 more enemy ships were destroyed in the chain reaction. Kara's jaw tightened. We lost one, Jox answered, voice low. We took 500 with him. That night in a small town in Brazil, an old man looked at the sky. He had once been a fighter pilot. Now he saw flashes of light streaks of war. He whispered, "Who are they?" His grandson replied, "The news says they're human, 17 of them." The old man smiled. 17? That's all? Yes. The old man looked at the burning sky again. Then the aliens don't stand a chance. Back in orbit, the alien fleet pulled back. Just a little. Just enough to create space between ships. They were afraid now. Kara knew it. She spoke to her team. We drew blood. Now they know we're real. Her ship glided forward into the endless black. The war's not over, she said. It's just begun. The stars burned quiet again, but it was only for a moment. After the first strike, 17 human pilots had vanished into the cold dark of space. Alien ships floated, damaged, confused, searching for shadows. They had never seen war like this. They had never imagined a planet like Earth could fight back this way. But while the galaxy wondered how, the answer was hidden in silence, beneath the surface of Earth. Deep below the Arctic ice in the old underground base called Vault Zero, computers worked in the dark. Thousands of files opened. One word appeared again and again on glowing screens. Fury. Years ago, Earth was losing another war not with aliens, but with itself. Nations feared invasion from orbit, so they built a secret program, Project Fury. Its goal was simple: build pilots that could think faster than computers, move faster than machines, and survive what no soldier could survive. The scientists failed, again and again, but then they found a way. They created the Fury Code. It was not a drug. It was not a chip. It was a rewrite of the brain itself, living code injected into the nervous system. It turned human minds into machines, but not without a price. The Fury Code gave the pilots superhuman speed, perfect memory, and full mental connection with their warcraft. But the cost. It burned the brain. One line in the record said it clearly, warning: code stability is 7 days. Death follows. No pilot could live long after full activation. The brain would overheat. Memories would vanish. Organs would fail. That's why the project was shut down. But not before they made 17 test pilots. Now, those 17 were Earth's only hope. Inside her ship, Kara Vale sat still, eyes closed. Her AI Reaper was silent. Then slowly it spoke. Your heart rate is rising. Your neural patterns are shifting. Kara opened her eyes. How long? For days remaining, maybe less. She didn't flinch. She had known this from the beginning. They all had. But still, the truth hit hard. For days to save Earth or die trying, Kara switched her comms on. Team check-in. One by one, voices came through. Jox, Maya, Zane, Rika, Omar, Celine. All 16 remaining pilots? Kara spoke, voice steady. We're running out of time. The code is working, but it's breaking us. Maya's voice cracked a little. I feel it. I forgot my sister's face this morning. Jox tried to lighten. The mood, I forgot how to tie my boots. Luckily, we fly barefoot. A quiet laugh moved through the team. It was short, but it helped. Then Kara got serious. We can't stop now. The aliens are scared. They pulled their main fleet back. That gives us a window. What's the plan? Zane asked. We go for their command ship, Kara said. Cut off the head. There was silence. Then Jock spoke. You want to take on a flagship with just us? Yes, Kara said. It's protected by shields, but Fury Code speed can get us inside. If we destroy their command core, they'll fall into chaos. Then let's do it, Maya said. No one argued. Not one, because they were more than soldiers now. They were the last. Shield between Earth and death. As the fighters regrouped near the dark side of the moon, the alien flagship slowly turned. On board, Admiral Threx stared at a screen showing battle losses. Over 1,200 ships gone in less than a day. How? He shouted. How do these primitive creatures defeat us? His science officer answered carefully. They're ships. They react faster than logic, as if they predict our moves, Threx growled. Then we kill them before they move. He pointed at a black case near his command chair. Inside was a weapon Earth had never seen, a mindstorm pulsar wave of energy that disables anything with living intelligence, including human pilots. Would fire it soon. Back near Earth, the 17 Fury-class ships began their approach. They flew in silence. No lights, no sounds. Only purpose. Each pilot felt the weight of their mission, and the time running out inside them. Jax whispered, "This is going to be beautiful." Kara smiled softly. Or insane. As they neared the flagship, alien defense turrets lit up. Red lights, tracking lasers, warning beacons. Then the sky exploded. Hundreds of alien fighters rushed out, forming a wall of metal and fire. Here we go, Maya shouted. The Fury ships dove in, fast and hard. They flipped through blasts, vanished into cloaking, reappeared behind enemies. The fight looked like a storm made of shadows. Zane's ship was hit. Smoke filled the cockpit. But he screamed through the pain and crashed his fighter into a cruiser. Blowing it apart from the inside, Celine was surrounded, but instead of running, she dropped charges all around her, lighting up the void like a star. They were dying, but they were killing more. Kara saw the flagship ahead. Her AI said, now or never. She flew straight at it. Laser fire lit the sky, but Kara didn't stop. Her Fury Code kicked in fully. The world slowed down. Time felt like it froze, she saw. Every line, every weakness, and she aimed straight for the heart. Kara's fighter moved like lightning through the dark. The alien flagship stood ahead. Massive and glowing with deadly red lights. It looked like a floating fortress covered in armor and spinning energy rings. Most ships would be crushed before getting close. But Kara Vale wasn't like most pilots. Inside her ship, the Fury Code burned brighter than ever. Her vision was sharp, her reactions faster than thought. Every heartbeat felt like a countdown. Her AI Reaper whispered, "Target. Core reactor. Distance. 600 meters. Let's end this," Kara replied. Behind her, 10 Fury-class ships followed close. The others were still fighting, still holding back hundreds of alien drones and fighters. They bought time with blood as the human ships reached the flagship. Dozens of cannons locked on, blasts of energy fired in all directions. One pulse scraped across Maya's wing. "I'm hit, still flying," she shouted. Jack's single quotes as voice came through the comms. Heavy turret ahead. "I see it." Kara's ship tilted sharply and spun sideways through a narrow gap in the enemy defenses. One shot, one beam. And the turret exploded behind her. They were inside. The 11 surviving pilots now flew through the inner tunnels of the alien ship long. Glowing halls filled with traps, spinning shields, defense systems. It was a maze built for destruction. Zane and Omar took the lead. They fired EMP charges that knocked out power sections, making it safer for the rest to pass. "We're losing pressure," Zane warned. "This place is falling apart." Kara reached a massive chamber, the core room. At the center was a glowing orb, spinning slowly inside a cage of metal and light. "That's it," she said. But before they could attack, the Admiral appeared on a hologram screen. Admiral Threx' cold eyes. Cruel face. He looked at Kara and said, "You fought well, human, but this is your last breath. He pressed a button. A shockwave pulsed from the flagship's command tower. Mindstorm pulse. The energy raced through space, invisible but deadly. It was meant to break minds, to crush thoughts, to kill anything living inside a machine. It hit the Fury pilots instantly. Kara screamed as pain shot through her head. Her hands shook. Her AI flickered. Maya fell unconscious. Her ship spun into a wall. 2 more ships went silent. Kara heard the warning in her mind. Neural collapse detected. Shut down in 10 seconds. No, she whispered. Her fingers hovered over the control panel. Her vision was red. Her brain felt like it was melting. But still, she reached for the override switch. Reaper shouted, "Override will cause full code burn. You will die." Kara nodded. "Do it." And everything turned white. The override broke. The lock. Her mind snapped back into control, but the cost was high. She felt her memory fading. Her heart slowed. She couldn't feel her legs, but she was still flying. Behind her, Jox did the same. So did Rika and Omar for ships reach the core. "We do this now," Jox said. "For Earth. For the ones we lost." Each of them fired their final shot. The core exploded in a flash of red, blue, and white. The blast shook the flagship from the inside out. Pipes burst, walls cracked, fire spread, then came silence. And then boom. The flagship exploded. Alien ships across the battlefield froze. Their command link was gone, their network broken, their leader dead. They drifted, lost. Without orders, on Earth, the skies turned bright again. People stared at their screens, at their phones, at the sky. The giant alien ship that once hung like a black cloud over Earth was now gone. News channels screamed, "The flagship is down." People in Tokyo cried. In Nigeria, they danced. In Brazil, someone lit fireworks. In New York, church bells rang. And in Pakistan, an old man looked at the sky and whispered, "They did it." The tide had turned, but it came with a price. Inside her broken ship, Kara lay still. Her AI's voice was soft. "Kara." Life signs fading. She smiled weakly. "Tell Earth, we fought for them." Her ship damaged but whole. Drifted in orbit, Jox's voice came through faintly. "Hey, some of us are still here, but we're not done," yelled the 17. Only 7 Fury pilots remained, but the enemy had lost over 4,000 ships, and now they were afraid. Admiral Threx was gone. Command was shattered. The alien fleet paused. They weren't prepared for humans to fight like this. They weren't prepared for pilots who died just to take one more shot. On the edge of Earth's orbit, a young girl watched through a telescope. She whispered, "Who are they?" Mother replied, "They're the ones who said no." The sky was quiet again, but everyone knew it wouldn't last. The alien fleet still had over 5,000 ships. Even without their flagship, they were dangerous. But now they were careful. They were watching. They were afraid. Earth, for the first time, had made them bleed high above the planet. In the blackness of space, 7 Fury-classed fighters floated. In silence, their hulls were scorched, engines damaged, weapons almost empty. Inside her dark cockpit, Kara Vale slowly opened her eyes. Her vision was blurry. Her mind felt like a storm of broken thoughts. The Fury code had done its damage. AI Reaper spoke softly. "Still alive, but only just." Kara breathed slowly. Status of the others? 6 remaining. Jox, Maya, Rika, Omar, Celine, and Dane. She looked out into space. Bits of alien ships drifted like metal snow. Smoke still lingered where the flagship had exploded. But it wasn't over. The war had just entered its deadliest phase. On the dark side of the moon, inside a hidden base built decades ago, the remaining pilots gathered through a secure comlink. Their faces were tired, their eyes hollow, but their voices still full of fire. Jack spoke first. "We can't win head-on. They still outnumber us," Omar added. "And we're running out of time." "The code is burning through us," Kara's. The voice was calm. "Then we make them come to us." Maya blinked. You mean set a trap? Yes, Kara said. We bait the main fleet into Earth's orbit. Then we trigger the magnetic field net. Earth had once prepared for alien invasion. By placing experimental devices around the planet, giant invisible mines that used magnetic force to twist gravity, but they were too unstable to use unless every enemy ship was in the trap so far. No one had ever managed that until now, Kara continued. We leak a fake signal. Make them believe Earth's remaining defense is hiding underground. Something big, something dangerous. Dane laughed. Aliens love to crush anything they don't understand. Rika nodded. Once they're close enough, Yox finished. The sentence, we detonate the net. It was dangerous, risky, crazy, but it was the only chance Earth had left. The pilots got to work. Maya hacked a signal system and broadcasted a fake message. New planetary weapon charged. Alien fleet must retreat. This is your only warning. It was just enough. On the alien mothership. The new commander, a cold strategist named Zarakreed, the signal and hissed, they are bluffing. But if they are hiding something, he leaned forward. Bring the fleet closer. We end this now. And so, the trap was set. Thousands of alien ships moved in formation, heading straight into Earth's orbit. They believed they were taking the final step to total victory. But they didn't know they were walking into death. The Fury pilots watched from space, hidden behind asteroids and shadows. The magnetic field net was ready. It needed one final trigger a ship to go deep into the center of the enemy formation and broadcast a locking beacon. That mission was suicide. Before anyone could speak, Omar's voice came through the channel. I'll do it. Kara froze. Omar, no. Yes, he said. You know, I'm already fading. My hands shake. Can't even aim anymore, but I can fly straight. That's all we need. No one argued. The 6 pilots watched as Omar's ship Blackfire powered up and flew silently into the heart of the enemy fleet. He dodged patrols, slipped through sensor lines, all while broadcasting a fake distress call, tricking the aliens into tightening their formation. Come closer, Omar whispered. That's right, just a little closer. The enemy ships shifted. Now, over 4,000 ships were in range. Omar reached the center. His ship hovered in silence. This is Fury Unit 09, he said, voice calm. Final move. He pressed the beacon. Trigger all over Earth's orbit. Hidden magnetic mines woke up. Energy surged. Space bent, and then boom. The sky tore open. Ships twisted, crushed, shattered. Gravity bent metal like paper. Engines failed. Hulls broke. In 30 seconds, over 3,700 alien ships were destroyed. The remaining ships fled in panic from Earth's surface. People saw it as a falling starstorm, a rain of fire that lit up the night. No one cheered yet because they knew what it cost. Omar didn't make it out. His last words echoed through every Fury ship. Make them remember Earth. Silence followed. In the moon base, Kara stood alone. Looking at the stars, they had lost another friend. But Earth was still alive. And now, the aliens were running out of time. The sky was on fire, but Earth was still breathing. After the trap, after the explosion. After Omar's final sacrifice, the alien fleet was broken but not destroyed. Thousands of ships were gone. But the last piece of the enemy's mine still floated in space, the command core. A living ship buried deep inside an armored asteroid, hidden behind a swarm of loyal escorts. This was the brain behind the invasion, and it was still alive. Kara Vale stood in the quiet of the moon base, her body shaking. Her Fury code was reaching its limit. Her hands were numb. Her memories came and went like flickers of light. Maybe a day left. Maybe less, but she wasn't done. None of them were. Only 6 Fury pilots remained. Kara, Jox, Maya, Dane, Rika, and Celine. They had lost friends. They had burned through their own minds. But they had one mission left: end the war. Their plan was simple and insane. They would fly into the command core itself, Not just attack it from outside. Board it. Find the central brain. And shut it down forever. It had never been done before. The aliens believed the command core was unbreakable. It was. Made from living metal, could bend space around it. Inside it were guards, traps, and horrors no human had ever faced. But the Fury pilots had already done the impossible, and they were ready to do it again. They launched in silence. 6 ships, dark as shadows, slipping through the debris of the broken alien fleet. Jack's flew point. His ship Wraith moved like smoke. "Escort ships ahead," he said. "Still scanning, not alert." Kara replied, "Stay quiet. No lights. No comes unless it's death." The ships weaved through the mess of metal, past wrecked alien cruisers, through clouds of dust and spinning parts. Then the asteroid appeared. It didn't look like a base. It looked like a floating mountain. It's covered in black spikes, pulsing with a strange light from inside. The command core. Their target, the Fury ships, flew low, beneath its surface, until they found what they were looking for. A vent. A small energy gate. Just wide enough. They entered the moment they crossed. Inside, everything changed. The inside of the alien base was alive. The walls moved. They pulsed like veins. Strange lights flowed through them like blood. The temperature dropped. Space around them twisted. "We're inside something's body," Maya whispered. Rika scanned the walls. These ships. Air. Grown, not built. Kara's AI spoke, warning. Neural pressure rising. Unknown signals in this environment may affect Fury code stability. Kara ignored the warning. They flew deeper. The first wave hit them fast. Alien defense. Drones small. Fast, sharp like insects, poured out of the walls. Hundreds of them. The Fury ships scattered. Dane spun his fighter through the tight tunnel, dodging lasers, firing with perfect aim. He destroyed 10 drones before crashing into a wall. His ship exploded in silence. "No," Celine shouted. "We keep moving," Kara said. "Get to the core." Through twisting halls, through rising heat, through smoke and blood, they fought. Celine took the rear, covering the others. A swarm came from behind. She stayed back and released her final pulse of shockwave that bought the others. 5 seconds, it cost her everything, Kara. Didn't look back. She couldn't. Now, it was just 4. The hallway ahead opened into a huge glowing chamber. At the center floated a beating red orb, half metal. The alien command brain, the source of the invasion, the mind that had ordered Earth's destruction. It pulsed. It knew they were there. Speakers on the wall came alive. A voice spoke not in alien tongue, but in English. "You should not exist," it said. Kara's ship slowed. "We do. You are broken, dying. Why fight?" "Because Earth lives," she answered. "That's enough." Jox, Maya, and Rika surrounded the orb. Their ships had only 1 charge left. Kara sent the command on my mark. All at once. The orb glowed brighter. It was preparing to release an energy wave. If it reached full charge, it would kill them. In seconds, Kara's countdown began. 3. The orb shook. 2. Jox whispered, "For Earth." 1. Fire. All 4 ships fired their last beam. The room exploded. The orb cracked. The brain screamed, and then dashed darkness. Total silence. The command core shut down. The war stopped a day later. Back on Earth, the world was watching the sky. Alien ships began falling. Some self-destructed. Others simply stopped moving. The fleet had no brain, no orders, no mission. The invasion was over. At mission control, a general turned to the screen. "Any word from the Fury pilots?" The technician shook her head. 4 went in. No signals returned. Somewhere above, wreckage floated in orbit. Among it was a Black Fury-class fighter, powered off, drifting in peace. Inside, Kara's body was still. Her last thought had been her first. Earth will never kneel. The sky was quiet, for the first time in weeks. There were no explosions, no enemy ships, No falling debris, just stars, down, and silence. People across Earth stood outside and looked up. "This!" cried, some whispered. Some just stood with hands over their hearts. No one cheered, not yet, because the cost was too high. But deep inside, everyone knew one thing. The war was over. The alien fleet was gone. Dead ships floated in orbit. Others had fled across the stars, broken and leaderless. The command corps had been destroyed. Humanity had survived, but not by armies, not by world leaders, not by weapons. 17 pilots. That's all it took. 17 human beings who should have died long ago. 17 minds burning with a secret code. 17 warriors erased from history. Now, the world was searching for their names, but only silence answered. From the moon base, a signal finally arrived. A single transmission. No video, no sound. Just data. It carried a message buried deep. In code, the message was for Earth. A young engineer at Mission Control found it first. He opened it slowly, carefully, and watched the text scroll across the screen. We were never heroes. We were never supposed to return. We were ghosts, built for one purpose: to stand when no one else could. If you are reading this, we did our job. Remember this: Earth is not weak. Humanity is not afraid. If they ever come again, stand tall, fight smart, and never ever kneel. Fury Unit 01. Caravel. The room went silent. Then, quietly, the technician said, "They knew they wouldn't make it back." A general replied, and they went anyway. All over the world, stories began to spread. Stories of the 17. People started giving them names. Some true, some legends. They called them the Fire of Earth, the Black Wings, the Last Pilots. But most just called them Fury. In Pakistan, a child looked up at the stars and asked his mother, "Are the space monsters gone forever?" The mother smiled softly. "They are for now. Who saved us?" "People like us," she said, "but braver and faster." The boy raised his hand to the sky. "If they come back, I'll fly too." In New York, people gathered at Central Park. Someone placed 17 black helmets in a row, each one marked with a white number. Candles were lit, songs were sung, but no speeches were given. Some heroes don't need words. In a quiet hangar in Brazil, one of the Fury ships had somehow survived re-entry. It was damaged, nearly destroyed, but intact. A team of scientists stood around it, trying to understand how it worked. Then the ship powered up. No one touched it. It simply whispered one sentence: "Where is Caravel?" And then powered down forever. In orbit, high above Earth, pieces of destroyed alien ships still drifted slowly. Among them, someone found a capsule. Inside it was a recording, a hologram from the alien Admiral Threx, recovered from the battle before his death. In it, he spoke to his fleet, the humans. They are not like the others. They are not prey. They are not weak. They are something new. Do not underestimate their silence. Behind it lives fire. That recording was played in every school on Earth to remind them that Earth was not alone in the universe, but it was no longer afraid. Years passed, the world rebuilt, nations united, space programs grew. Children who once hid in fear now studied the stars. Pilots wore black flight suits in honor of the Fury 17. Their names were carved into the surface of the moon, but their bodies were never found. No graves. No ruins, just stories. Stories of the day. 17 shadows rose from the ice, fought an army of 9,900 ships, and did the unthinkable. In a quiet part of Earth, a girl once whispered a question into the sky. Did they really die? Smiled and answered, "No, child." They became part of the stars. And maybe, just maybe, he was right.